said last week that I was on vacation. Well, I wasn't exactly on vacation, but I had about 4 customers come in. We thought you weren't here. How come you're here? And I went out to shop on Monday last week because our shop is now closed for Mondays for the fall and winter, open by appointment only, but I went on vacation. I just took 1 day off and went with my husband on a business trip. So
One day is all you can have.
well, we can't leave. We haven't found anybody responsible to watch the goats yet.
Yeah.
So we can't go overnight anywhere. So it'll work.
That's good.
Well, we have Dwight Richardson with Artists Here Partnership, and we'll get back with him in a little bit. How are you, Radio Vixen?
Oh,
AKA
I am fantastic.
The Crash? Is she
Crash.
Crash, or just Crash?
And hello, Wanda. How are you? How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in.
And Jackie's on here. We're going to talk about Jackie, so it's a good thing she's listening. So she's on my watch party. And Vanessa has the lunch bucket. And
I'm sorry, who's Vanessa?
Radio Vixen, okay. She doesn't like us to do that, you know.
I don't know who this Vanessa is.
She needs to legally change her name.
You won't be the Radio Vixen, I don't know.
Crash.
I'm gonna put that
So
on
if
the
you have questions, go ahead and put your questions in on the radio, on the tuned in, on the studio at tunedinradio.us or on the Facebook. And if you have long, drawn-out questions that I have to answer or call you or whatever, you can go to Susan at tunedinradio.us and send me an email, and I'll get back with you if you have somebody that's a guest that we want on here, and that'll be great. Now, we have some current events that are coming up, and we have one that's coming up in about 25 minutes. The band and audience favorites outdoor concert. I think it's the first event that Artists Here Partnership is going to do.
Pandemic, yeah.
And it's the, what are they,
Pops, the Cleveland Pops.
Cleveland Pops, are they practicing or are they actually doing
No,
a
this
concert?
is actual concert.
Okay, cool. Because they said they had a new practice venue and then I guess it's a concert. So it's an outdoor concert at the museum tonight at 6:30.
It's been moved inside called the Rain.
Okay, well, in that big room that we
Yeah.
have inside.
Yeah, but everything's socially distanced and all that stuff.
Well, that'd be cool. So that's that. So don't leave us. Put your smartphone on and take us with you. Go over there at 6:30 and they'll go till about 7:38, something
Yes.
like that. So you could drive, still listen to us and drive over to the museum and park and keep your phone on and listen to us through the 6:30 to 7 part of the concert. And then at 7 you can give your full attention to the concert.
Can I say something on that while we're on that subject?
Yes.
The first time, I didn't even know we had a Pops orchestra, and I didn't know we had a Cleveland orchestra. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or what. This group really does very well.
Yes,
And you'll
they
be
do.
very impressed by this group. There's probably 50-ish people, maybe 45 in this group. And they're all volunteers, they don't get paid, and they're as good as anybody around, this orchestra. They really are.
I've heard the one in Chattanooga and the one in Cleveland, and I'll put up Cleveland's against Chattanooga
They're
anytime.
very good.
They're very good, yes. Okay, the Cleveland Bradley Library is still having their Wednesday crafts for everyone from 3 to 3:45. And you can go on Facebook and find out about that and do the crafts. And then their Thursday origami at 4:30. And those are both Facebook Live events. I don't know if they are going to, at any time in the future, move it into in-person again.
I don't know.
But you can get your craft supplies the Thursday before the next Wednesday's, whatever they're doing, at the library. So you contact them on Facebook or call the library to find out about it. And that's really cool. And Wednesday, we have the art gallery grand opening, and we'll talk more about that in a little while, but that's the Artists Here Partnership Art Gallery. Hetzel, Saturday 2 to 8, they're having the Todd Deere Solo Art Exhibition. And I did not have time to look and see what kind of art he did, but it's some kind of visual art. And I'm gonna try to sneak over there after work on Saturday and see his stuff at Hetzel. And coming soon, and we will have the ladies and gentlemen that are doing this or in charge of this on here sometimes before the art crawl, but we're having a Cleveland downtown art crawl on November 14th. And then there will be some go to all the different stores and see the different artists. So I'm hosting an artist in my store. I don't know who yet and what kind of tag.
I was just looking that date up. I'm glad you had a date. Can I say something on that?
Yes, you can say something on that. I didn't know you knew about it.
Yeah, this is going to be a first ever for Cleveland, and it is really a well-planned event. I want to say they'll either start at Hetzel or Grit and Grace. I can't remember.
They'll
which
start at
place.
Hetzel,
Okay.
end up at Grit and Grace, and at Grit and Grace, they're going to have some kind of
Okay.
ceremony event thing.
Now, this is a ticketed event, and you'll be going to several different places to view art. And you can purchase art that night, and the art gallery, which we'll talk about in a minute, they're also coming there.
So you're participating too.
So we're going to be a part of that, and it's really, if you like art and local artists, it's going to be a great event.
I'm glad to hear that the art gallery is going to be doing that. You weren't at the meeting, and I thought, I wonder if they contacted him, but I'm glad to hear that they did. We have a few other things coming up, and while I'm on the coming up events, Dwight is going to come back on October 19th and talk to us about,
Spirits, legends, and lore.
and we just found out today that we are having it this year, which I'm excited because I was like bummed that it was going to be an online only thing or whatever, because I like this thing every year. And what is the date of that event?
It's going to be October the 27th. That's a Tuesday. Will be an outside event. So if you're a little concerned about social distance and whatever, you bring your lawn chair. We sit outside. You've got plenty of space, plenty of room. You will need to bring your own lawn chair. There'll be no chairs provided. But you that have been to this event before, you know how great it is, and we're just continuing the effort.
Well, that's good, and I'm excited because I look forward to it every year. I don't particularly like ghost stories, but I like legends, and I like to hear storytellers. So
No one's going to jump out and stab you or anything
no, it's not
like
that kind of ghost
But
stories.
it is full of history and mystery and suspense.
Right, and it is stories about things that happened in our area. So you'll tell us more about that on October 19th. So come back on October 19th, and you'll be here, tell us all about that, and we'll get some more
Yes.
history on that. So this is Dwight Richardson, and we've had him before, and he was here with his,
You made a beautiful floral arrangement.
I made a beautiful floral arrangement that lasted forever. I had it like 4 weeks.
Really?
I had it
That
about
is good.
4 weeks. But you are with, tell us about where your real job is.
I'm a board member, and there's a recently new effort called Artists Here Partnership, and that's what I'm here to tell.
But what is your regular job?
Well, I've got a couple of 3 regular jobs. I'll just
Oh,
tell them all. I sell real estate with Bender Realty. I've been there right at 30 years.
Yeah.
And I own a wedding and event company called Fenimore's. If you're going to get married or any kind of event, let me know. I don't have the event space, but I do the flowers for the event.
Yeah, but he's a good florist.
I needed one more job.
Well, I could give you another job.
I can't seem to slow down.
Well, you got one more job. So how did you get into, okay, you are with the Artists Here Partnership.
Yes.
Now, the Artists Here group has been around about 2 years.
1.5 to 2 years.
I've been involved with it since like January. I think I went to my first meeting in January. And tell us a little bit about the Artists Here group, and then just kind of go into the Artists Here Partnership, and then tell us about the
Okay.
space.
The Allied Arts Council of the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce has been around right at 26 years. And we focus on many different things, but probably one of our biggest things is Arts and Education, Cherry's Jubilee, if you're familiar with that, it's a hand-painted furniture auction.
We had them on here
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, I think.
We have donated probably close to $700,000 back to the schools in grants. We give grants every year, about $20,000 in grants. That's one of our big focuses. We also, our theater, dance, anything to do with the arts, the Allied Arts Council wants to promote that. Out of the Allied Arts Council, we got this real big idea to have a performing arts center. There is no performing arts center in our great city of Cleveland, Tennessee. And much smaller towns have a little art center, they have a theater, they have something. We have nothing except schools, churches, and some of our universities, and there's nothing wrong with those. Those are great places. We've been there a lot for plays and musicals and ballets and stuff, and we're so thankful that we do have a place to go. But they're connected to something other than a standalone building. And it was our dream to have that. Connie Gatlin spearheaded this effort about 1.5 to 2 years ago. And we wanted to form an arts registry. And what that means is, if somebody called the chamber and said, I need a 3-piece band for a wedding, well, they would just have to do what they could remember or who might be over the chamber. And we wanted to have an arts registry. Not only musicians, but theater, dance, artists, painting artists, wall art, anything that would be an artist registry.
Stained glass.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to perform. So in order to do that, we came up with this Artist Here logo and Artist Here name. That would include everybody that had anything to do with the arts. Well, our main goal was we wanted to perform an art center, because when we all met the very first time, we probably had 23, 25 people there the first time. The number one issue that affected everybody was there wasn't a central standalone building to have an event in. And so we thought, well, let's just have one, you know. So we had this big idea to do it. Well, you know, that was a great concept and it was a great thought, but all of a sudden, we didn't have any money.
Right.
And we were looking at a multi-million-dollar facility, but we just thought it was a great idea, but what are you gonna do?
We have some ideas for some places. If anybody wants to donate a couple $1 million,
That's
we'll
right.
take it.
That's right. So, we scaled down a little bit, not in our thoughts, that's still our main focus. But because of that, we decided to take baby steps. And that's maybe the best way to get to where we're needing to go. With the downtown revitalization that's coming down the pipe, we want to be in the groundworks of that. We want an art center in the groundwork. So that's our ultimate goal, is to have a performing arts center. Connie and this group got together and we needed to change the name to Artists Here Partnership. And it's not that it's a corporation or anything. Partnership, we wanted to partner with Susan. And we wanted to partner with this artist and this musician. And we just wanted to partner with the arts community. Hetzel Gallery, I think you mentioned Hetzel Gallery. She's been to our meetings, and great. Anything that's an arts related effort, that's what we are wanting to come together as a partnership. So a few weeks ago, changing this name brought us in a little bit of a different direction. Many of you know everything was just going lovely, everybody was having a great time, and then about March, the COVID hit. And it just kind of put a stop to everything. We weren't prepared for that, but we got prepared for it pretty quickly. And because of that, the Museum Center at 5 Points, they had a wonderful store and a wonderful gift shop. Well, because they had to shut down, you know, they were shut down for several months, and so their artists had their stuff in there, and you know, nobody could get in there to buy it, so that dissolved. And that sat vacant until this last week. And do we get into that now, or do we tell Artists Here Gallery? Or just wait on that one?
I think we can,
Because I can talk forever on that.
Well, we've got about 10 more minutes
10 more minutes, okay.
before the commercial break,
Okay,
and then
okay.
we have 30 minutes after that.
Okay, okay.
So you can just,
Let
you're doing good.
me just tell about it. Artists Here Gift Gallery is, the grand opening is this Wednesday, September the 30th. And we have secured local artists that had been in the gallery before the COVID hit. And then we have brand new people that are in the gallery. We've got pottery, we have wall art, we have handcrafted scarves. One of your friends is in that, Joey Corey.
Oh, Jackie Corey.
Jackie Corey.
So she's got more than just scarves.
Yeah,
she's got
a little
all
bit
kinds of
everything.
stuff.
Matter of fact, if she's not watching, I stole one of her face masks today.
Well, too late now, you didn't steal it. I think you bought it.
I did buy it, yeah.
She's watching.
We have some
She knows now.
handcrafted wood items. These are quite unique, and I'll talk about those next time. I don't want to get carried away too much on that. Cutting boards, wood razor and shaving kits made out of fallen trees that may have been from the tornado. There's always a history behind this wood carving stuff. It's fascinating. Bottle toppers and wood ink pens. We've got Christmas bugs, we've got coasters, we've got ink sketches, we've got several things of t-shirts, we've got handcrafted jewelry, soy candles. The Allied Arts has one-of-a-kind booth, and that is things that maybe we have run upon or someone has given us, or it could be something around the house that was very expensive, they don't use anymore, it's in a closet, we're gonna bring all those out. It's just one-of-a-kind items for the arts, and that money still goes back to the arts. We have greeting cards, handmade greeting cards, watercolor art, and we have one booth that also does watercolor sketching and oil sketching. She has just been licensed by UT to do the official logo on her hound dog portrait. So that's a great thing.
Cool.
And we'll talk about that later. We got plenty of themed masks that I just talked about a while ago. And we've got painted clothing. There's a denim jacket in there with a big old sunflower on the back that's hand painted. So that's kind of what we've got in that store.
Okay, so how did the store come to be? Because you might have skipped that a little bit, because we have the Artists Here group, and then COVID hit, and of course, I didn't get into any of the Artists Here
Yeah.
meetings because I was working 14-hour days, and so I didn't get into anything until about the end of August. I had, oh great, this is awesome. So give us a little history about what happened. You guys started doing Zoom meetings and...
Having a gift gallery was never in our picture. That's something that we'd not even thought of. And it kind of fell in our lap, an opportunity to get in that gift gallery to bring local artists. And I guess because we did not think about it, it was just something that went right over our heads. But that is, our cause is bringing artists together to do stuff, and that was a perfect setup right there for us to bring artists together to start this cause. Now, we're not going to make all the money in that gift gallery to make a multi-million dollar complex.
No.
But again, we're doing baby steps. And if we can prove to our city and our officials that Artists Here partnership has a great place in this city and a great place in the downtown revitalization, that's kind of what we're doing. And that's kind of how this gallery came about. And we jumped at the chance once we heard that it was vacant and we could use it.
So whose idea was it that, hey, we could do the gallery? Was it the museum's or was it y'all's?
The museum approached us
Okay.
about the concept. And we were so shocked, because of that, as I said, we didn't think about that. So once we talked to them and thought this might be a good fit for us because of leasing that space on a 3-year lease, we now have access to the museum. So that's why the Pops Orchestra is there tonight, because they are part of the Artists Here partnership as a paying member. And because of that, storytelling and art workshops and readings of poetry and different things, we have access, if it's available and the data is available, we've got access to that museum to help these places. So that's why we like it so much. We have a theater production there. We don't have to worry all over town trying to find some place to have a theater production. We can do it right there at the museum.
So the museum said, hey, come rent this space, and you guys just were kind of shocked.
Yeah, we were shocked, and
And I know you guys had a Zoom group. Was it about 4 or 5 of you guys were just meeting on a Zoom and doing
Yes.
stuff?
yeah.
So that was,
We're just very fortunate that we got to do this and that it's really a good fit. We're just trying to bring all the artist community together.
that's cool. That's very cool. So the museum, and was that the organization meeting that we were at last week, or was that an announcement meeting?
It was more of an announcement meeting than anything, yeah.
So we had a meeting, was it last week or the week before?
Let me say this, I guess, too. If you have Facebook, the Artists Here Partnership is the Facebook link. You just search Artists Here Partnership, and it will take you to our Facebook page. There you'll have announcements of different things that's happening in the arts world here in Cleveland. Plus, there is a membership category that you can join as an artist, an organization, to support the arts.
Yeah.
It's all on there. The prices are on there, which are very reasonable prices.
They are.
And then you can also fill the form out, it's right there. And we want everyone that wants to be a member of this Artists Here Partnership, we want your membership.
Yeah, and so the meeting, the mayor was there, and he's supportive of this, and,
City Manager Joe Fivas and Corey Donald were both there.
right,
And we had a pretty good selection of all the artists in town there at that meeting.
you know, there was,
Jan Nyman was there for the museum.
Yeah.
She was also there.
and Beth Hetzel,
What?
Beth Hetzel,
Yes, she was there also.
and,
Beth is very supportive, and we're working on board members right now because we've got our bylaws done. There's a little bit of a paper trail you have to do to get this started. We're started, but we have to now get the paperwork together to actually be legal through Nashville.
okay. So do you still have spaces left in,
We still
In
have
the
a
gallery.
few spaces left, yes. We're not going to take probably but about 5 or 10 more, only because we're going to make this a workspace. And I'll get into that a little later on too. So we're only going to have a few more places, unless people just start flocking us and they've got different stuff that we've got in there. We don't want to have multiples
of the
of a
same
lot of
thing?
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and you would have something different than Grit and Grace too.
We will, and we're not in competition with Grit and Grace. They are a wonderful thing. Our stuff is totally different than their things, and we have 2 artists that are displaying there at the gift gallery, but they're also displaying at Grit and Grace.
So you don't have any rule or against having stuff in other places?
No, no. There,
So-
in the past there was.
In the past there
But-
was,
Yeah, now there's not, and also the space rental, I'm gonna get ahead of myself, I need to talk about that later.
yeah, because we have more time for that, after so are you an artist yourself other than the florist?
So what now?
Are you an artist other than being a florist?
I can't paint, I can't do any of that. I can do flowers all day long, but don't make me paint, I can't. I don't even like to paint a wall, much less anything else.
So
I hate it.
are you going to have any floral arrangements in the store?
I don't
or
think
you're
so.
Mostly,
Yeah, I don't think so, because that's really not, it's an artistic thing, but that's, I don't, no. We're gonna have a couple of things to give away as door prizes on our grand opening, but not anything there to sell, no.
oh, okay. So you,
Not unless I just have an overwhelming amount of people say, do this, do this, do that. And I don't think that's probably gonna be true.
you're going to be busy running the
Yeah.
artists. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the how to get a space and how much it costs you and all that after the break, but, so you
We
consider,
actually have a comment.
we do have a comment? What's the
Yes.
comment?
You know Family Towing, right?
Yes,
You know the owners,
yes,
Tim and Holly?
yes.
Well, Holly just said, hey everyone at Tuned In. Hello, gorgeous. Thank you for tuning in. It's so good to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while. How have you been? So she just wanted to say hey and let us know that she was watching.
Well, it's a good thing she hadn't heard from us, because when she hears from us, it's because our vehicles are broke. They fixed them good the last time, so. Yes, they did fix them really good. And
Well, they did very good on my vehicle up until it got totaled, so.
well, that was your fault, not theirs.
First of all, it wasn't my fault. That was not my fault when my car got totaled.
Somebody crashed into you.
Somebody turned in front of me.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't need to be called Crash.
Well, apparently that's our name.
That's your nickname, Radio
That's
Vixen,
my nickname.
AKA Crash.
Mm.
So, okay. We have about, let me see how long.
About 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
You're gonna need to get you a big old clock.
What I need to
And
know,
sit
I'm
right
also
here.
checking to see if there's anybody on my watch party.
Even though it is 2 minutes, you want to go ahead and just do the commercials early. That way you can have a little bit more time to talk about what it is you need to talk about.
Yeah, after, we'll have the commercials a little bit early,
Yeah.
not 10 minutes like Rick
Well,
did.
let's tell them again when we got a little time. The grand opening for the Artists Here Partnership Gift Gallery is this coming Wednesday from 10 to 5. And we will be open museum hours, so whenever the museum open, that's when we're gonna be open. We're closed Sunday and we're closed Monday. That's the only 2 days we're closed, because the museum are closed that day. So any other day we're open, and we'd love to have you that have.
Is there a ribbon cutting or something at 10
There will
o'clock?
be in a couple of weeks.
Oh, a ribbon cutting in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
But 10 o'clock, if you're there, you get something special at 10 o'clock, or you just come sometime between 10 and 5 on?
we just want people to show up at any time on Wednesday. It opens at 10.
Okay.
Some of the artists will be there, and some of the artists will be also sales clerking. So, like for instance, I'm gonna get ahead of myself here.
Yeah, you're
Let me
gonna
save that.
We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
that after the
Let me
break.
save that. But this Wednesday from 10 to 5 will be our opening at the Museum Center at 5. If you bought something there in the past, we're gonna have very much the same kind of stuff. It's all unique and all different. You can't find anywhere else.
All right, well, I guess you can go to the commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
There we go.
When we're back. And thank you for those supporters of this show.
Yeah, but before we start off the show again, Wanda left a message. And Wanda said, it's great to see this happening in our beautiful city. So,
Yes.
the shows and the concert and everything, she thinks it's a wonderful thing.
That's cool, that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's what we want to hear.
Okay, my weekly craft tip. It's a very simple one, but we gotta get it out of the way so we can get all the other stuff.
This is your weekly craft tip?
I give a weekly craft tip.
Every week, she
Every week, I give a weekly craft tip. So the weekly craft tip for this week is, when you're doing interior design, and you said you hated to paint, but if you're redoing your house, or you paint your house or whatever, go ahead and get a popsicle stick, paint that room color on there, write the name of the room on there and the paint or whatever, so that if you lose the paint, you know, if you need to touch up or get some more paint, you have the paint, the brand and the color number and all that. But the other thing is you have a little stick that you can take with you when you're trying to get draperies or couches or pictures to go on the wall. You have a little stick that's got the color of that room. And I know one girl that has the color of all the rooms in her house, and she got written on their living room, and then the paint name and number, and then she can match things and take it with you.
Now, did you make this up, or did you already know it?
Some of the things, some of the weekly craft tips I do,
That's a good
I
tip.
learned myself. Others, I find something like it, or get 2 or 3 and combine them together. The one that I gave about put the glue sticks in the freezer and it's less stringy, that I found on the internet. And it's on the internet, it must be right, correct?
Well, I have to look at every 10, I have got 10 or 20 kids, I have to look through every one of them and see what's what.
So now you can get little
Because I didn't write
sticks.
anything down.
Well, you get little sticks and then,
Okay, that's a good thing.
So yeah, you don't have to, you can have them all in one little, about that big, instead of tin cans all.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. So we are back, and if you're just now joining us after the bottom of the hour, this is Dwight Richardson with Artists Here Partnership. And I have to look at that because I keep trying to get a Star Trek name.
It's a different one. What are you trying to say?
I've been trying to call it the Artists Here Collective.
Well, that's kind of close.
It's kind of close, but that's, you know what the collective is on Star Trek. If you're a Trekkie, you know. And it's not exactly the same. The partnership is all of us working together, and I'm excited about it. And yes, Wanda, I'm excited about it because, I love our hometown, and we have so much talent here. I'm excited. Before we go into a little bit more details of the gallery, tell us a little bit about, I don't know if you know a lot of detail about the registry, but how do you get on the registry and where do you go to get on the registry?
Okay.
And what's the registry for?
Okay. We have a Facebook page, and you can register if you are a painting artist, if you are a musician, whatever you do in the arts world. There's a form to fill out if you want to just be on the registry. The registry for us is going to be just a collection of artisans that we can call on or refer people to. If somebody says, I want a sketch of my dog,
Okay.
then we've got 2 or 3 already we can send them, but we want a registry of, we'll call this, I see that there's a dog picture over here, made me think of that. We want, say, well, you can call this one, you can call that one. We won't pick out just one. We want to give everybody a chance. So that's kind of what this registry will want it to be. If we're going to have a theater production, we might need lighting, we might need sound. If this is a new group, they don't have anything, those are all part of this.
Camera guy, so you need to go on there.
Yeah, this is all going to be part of the people that we can refer, people that need something art-wise.
So Gabe, you need to go on there and register you on the Artists Here registry.
Yeah, it always tickles me because on Facebook, you have people that say, there's nothing to do in Cleveland.
Oh my goodness, there's
Well,
so much to do. You can't.
They just need to see the page of stuff there is and really almost even downtown. If you're not in the loop, then you won't maybe know that there's anything. But if you'll be an artist here, if you'll like that page, you're automatically going to get notices when there is an art project going around.
Yeah, week before last, we had 3 things. I said we had to have skates to do everything. Saturday, not this last Saturday, but Saturday before,
Yeah.
there was 3 things. You had to run like crazy to get to everything. And it was artsy,
It's like the back alley gallery.
right?
It's surprising that when what's that been, 5 years, I believe, something like that? It's surprising people say, I never heard of that, where is that? I don't know if they don't pay attention, I don't know if they're just not in tune, I don't know. But I guess I would have thought about everybody knew about the back alley gallery. They currently don't come downtown very much, or they would have seen it. And I don't mean to belittle those people, it's just, there's a bunch of stuff to do, arts-wise in Cleveland. So if you will go to our Facebook page, Artists Here Partnership, like that page, then you're gonna be able to get all this stuff.
Might make it a little bit easier on my job to do my weekly announcements instead of having to go and
Yeah.
search through all the events if it's
And who
all in
knows,
one place.
we may even have the craft tip of the week on there.
Oh, no. Well, I'm gonna put myself in the registry because I consider myself a textile artist. And I do actually do pictures in fabric. But I'm gonna put myself on there. You never know what somebody needs.
No, you never know.
Textile wise or costumes. Oh,
Well, they're like quilting. I don't mean to get off subject here, but quilting, when I was a kid, there was a Dorcas Club.
right.
And every Wednesday, all these ladies would get together and they would quilt the most gorgeous quilt. That was every week.
Right.
And we have 2 or 3 of those clubs in Cleveland that probably nobody's ever heard of, and you probably also have something very similar to that.
Right.
And people love handmade quilts, especially baby quilts is
Right.
really popular right now.
Right.
So, that is an artisan part that we could help share.
That's true. So we'll have, I'm excited about the partnership, started calling it collective again.
I'm gonna have to fire you if you want to.
It's because I had a toothache and I've been watching too much Star Trek.
It's okay, it's okay.
Beverly Carl from Alabama's here again. So she's watching us.
Good.
And
Alabama.
yes, Beverly's one of my favorite people.
Good.
They have some interesting things that they share with.
I hope she enjoys it. And thank you for letting me be on here because we just want to share all we can about this art
Okay, so
partnership.
we're going to talk about a little more about the Art is Here gallery.
Okay?
Okay, so if you're an artist, you come and see you, contact you through the Art is Here Partnership Facebook.
There's a couple ways. Is it okay to give phone numbers?
Oh, yes.
Okay. There's two ways you can contact me. I'm kind of in charge of the gallery. You can contact any member of the Art is Here Partnership. That's not a problem, but it's going to eventually come to me. If you will just call Dwight Richardson, and that's 423-715-0030. That's my cell phone. And I will probably ask you to give me your email address, and then I will send you the paperwork that you need to do it. Now, there is a little process. It's not a big process, but there is a process in everything we do nowadays. So the board of directors will look at this. So far, we've never turned anybody away, and everything we've had has been nice. So if you'll just call me, I can also give you my email address if you don't mind me
Sure.
giving that and spelling it, because most people don't know. It's Fenimores@att.net. And Fenimores is F as in Frank, ENIMORES, Fenimores@att.net. You can email me there, and I will also send you what we need there. But if you're an artisan and...
We'll have him do it again at the end, so if you didn't have a
Okay.
pen and a paper,
Okay.
you can get it by the end, and we'll have you repeat it at the end.
Okay. If you are an artisan, I can tell you what some of the things we need. We need some more handmade items. If you make, say, handmade jewelry, we could use another vendor with that. We could use anything handmade, such as, like I was mentioning, I don't mean to mention names, so I better not. We have one lady that paints rocks, and that's such a unique little thing, and children love to get painted rocks, they really do. And we're gonna have classes on how to paint a rock, or how to do something. We're gonna have artisan classes throughout this whole gallery. That's one of the purposes we want. If you are we've got plenty of wall art, but we'll look at more. We've got just about all we can handle. The problem is, it's not that we don't want any more, that we're out of space. We don't have any more wall space to put any art. We don't want it just stacked up somewhere. So, I'll be glad to look at that, but I just want you to know we're cautious on more art because we ran out of space. If you got one lady that does handmade scarves, they're really, really pretty. I can use handmade aprons. You probably make some of those, I don't know. But I need handmade aprons that...
I'll do that when I don't need any more sleep.
that ladies would purchase. We don't have any knit items such as baby crochet blankets or baby crochet hats, or we don't have any crochet much items at all. We could use probably more handmade envelopes or note cards, greeting cards. We have 2 or 3 of those, but we're just scattered around. People love handmade cards.
Do you have magic cards?
What?
I guess I'm gonna say, she's been on my show, I'm gonna ask, do you have Rhoda's cards?
What kind of cards?
Rhoda's cards.
What is that?
Rhoda is the girl that makes it, but magic cards. You don't. I'm gonna call her.
I don't guess I do. I don't know
I'm
what
gonna
that
call
is.
her and get her to come over there, but she's
Okay.
got magic cards.
Okay.
They're very interesting.
Huh.
And I don't think she was in the museum store, but she did go to one of those the fall art
Okay,
things.
maybe the Christmas thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm gonna, if I can remember, I'm gonna call her tonight, but
Okay.
tomorrow for
Unless
sure.
I've got a blank, I don't know what that is, so I
Well,
don't.
Rhoda's cards is the name of her cards, and Rhoda is her name.
Okay,
Yeah, and Wanda says you need someone who makes handmade dolls.
handmade what?
Dolls.
Okay.
Well, I know somebody who makes handmade dolls, but she's already in the store.
Well, there was a gentleman there that made corn husk dolls. And I contacted him and he did not want to participate. Yeah, little handmade dolls would be probably a good thing. You know, Christmas is coming on, so anything right now, Christmas-wise, and something that would be some good for
Well, Wanda, in your
Now, I tell you what we don't
spare
want.
time, Wanda, you can get those bunnies that don't have any clothes at the shop and clothe them up and take them over there.
I tell you something we don't want. We don't want any crocheted toilet paper, toilet seat covers. Have you seen those before?
Yes.
We don't want any of those. And we don't want any crocheted masks. Have you seen any of those?
Oh, those don't work for sure.
We don't want anything like that. But, you know, anything that's unique that the public will buy. I tell you another thing I need. I need somebody that sells honey and honey products.
I have somebody for you.
Because the lady that was in there doesn't want to do it again, so we need honey products. So that would be a good thing.
Remind me afterwards and I'll,
Okay. And is it okay if I tell them how to
Yes.
participate, do they?
Yes, yes, yes,
If
yes.
you will.
we want you to tell the whole,
Okay.
what you have to do before you sign up the paper so that
Okay.
you don't spend your time.
Here's the process, and we think it's more than fair and equal for everyone. In the past, the museum store, people just brought in stuff, and there was about I don't remember the percent, but there was a commission on the items. That's how the museum made their money. With us, there is no commission at all. It's 100% your profit. We don't want any of your profit. We want you to sell all you can. There is a space fee, like one whole window area, which is 3 or 4 different levels, would be $50. And that's the only charges you're gonna have. And most people are happy with that because they can lower their prices because they don't have to add the commission on there anymore, and it will sell more. So we're selling spaces instead of just bringing your stuff in and hoping that it sells. And if it doesn't sell, you're not out anything. And you know, this is month to month. If you get in there and this is not what you want and it's not working out, we're not gonna feel bad if you need to leave. But we feel like that's a win-win situation for that price.
Okay, so how do you pay the people who are manning the registers?
We have some of the people, I almost got it this while ago, some of the people that are the artisans there will be sales clerk. And if you're a sales clerk and we have space left, we only got about 1 space left, then there's no space fee. If you work 1 day a week or 2 days a month, something like that, there's no space fee.
Depending on how big your space is, how much you need to work.
50 to 100 is most we got. 100 is the biggest we got. And that's like a whole wall.
Right.
But that's very reasonable. Surely we can sell $50 of your stuff in that big. But it's due at the first of every month. We'll work all those terms out with you. We will collect sales tax, but we pay the sales tax. So
You take care of the paperwork.
Yeah, we take care of it. God, I hate that. I'm not a bookkeeper. I can create stuff all day long. Please don't make me do books.
I'm kinda like that.
Say you rent a space for $50 and you sell $400 1 month, and the sales tax on that's roughly $36, something like that. Or I'm sorry, right about $40. So we would collect $440. We would pay the $40 sales tax, and you get a check for $400 less whatever your space fee is. So that's a pretty good deal.
And it's pretty good for the
It really
vendors
is.
because they don't have to do any paperwork.
Yeah, it's a very good deal. All you gotta do is bring stuff in and pay us a little money, and that's it. And again, like I say, if it doesn't work for you, then we're not gonna feel bad at anybody, but we just think that's a fair way to do it.
Yeah. So you could go in and do clerking and you still have some clerk spaces open.
Yes,
So you can do clerking and not have to pay a booth
that's
fee.
correct, that's correct.
Okay, so there's
Now,
some,
you know, we're looking for dependable people. Just don't tell me I wanna work, and
then you can't
you're
be.
sick this day, and then 2 weeks later, well, I've got to take my kid to somewhere. I mean, I know all those things happen, but we've got to have dependable people.
Well, you have to, yeah, we have to have,
Because if not,
It's
who do you
scheduled.
think's going to be working? So,
I started to say I could work on Mondays, but y'all aren't open Mondays.
yeah, that's the day you can work in it, but, but we think that's a really great thing. Plus, like the artists that are, painting artists that are there, we're gonna let them bring their stuff in, they can paint and work while they're there. They said, if there's nobody there that day and wants to buy a paint, then I don't wanna be bored to death. So
Right.
they can do the painting, they do all their stuff while they're working there. People love to come in and watch artists paint.
Right.
They really do, it's
They do.
fascinating. But, can I keep going?
Keep going, you got, let me see, how long we got, Vanessa?
8 minutes.
8 minutes, so you have a lot of time.
One of the good things about this gift gallery is, we want people to come in and buy stuff that is unique. And I know I've said that before, but most of these are one-of-a-kind items. They're handmade things that you're not going to be able to go to the big box store or Kirkland's or TJ Maxx, or you're not going to be able to find those there. It's really unique things, especially for Christmas and the holidays coming in. We've got one guy that's a young person. He has done coasters, and he has done a cutting board. It's a glass cutting board, T-shirt, and all of these either say joy, or he's got all these wires and the Christmas lights all tangled up, and he's got nailed it, where he decorated stuff. So he's quite unique in what he does. We've got a person that has done the ink pens, the wooden ink pens, the wooden shaving greer. His woodwork is absolutely fabulous. And then we got another guy that does the wooden bows. Do you realize to do a wooden bow, that wood has got to cure between 4 and 5 years before you make a bow out of it? Isn't that amazing? And a lot of these bows he has are from the tornado in 2011, a downed tree. Or it could be a poplar tree or a Bradford pear out of somebody's yard that they didn't want anymore and just threw it by the road. He would get that wood. But it has to cure between 4 and 5 years before you can make anything that would work like a bow. I think that's amazing.
So he marks when he gets it and.
If he marks on the bottom of it, you're gonna know where that tree came from or what kind of tree it was. It's really kind of unique, really. And he also does wooden cutting boards and different things like that. It's quite unique, really. And we've got an artist a painting artist from Chattanooga. She's been in there before. She does a little higher end things, a lot of fruit, real classy looking little stuff, and most of her stuff is framed. And so you're getting framed plus the art.
Wow.
So pretty neat. And we got a whole stack of books. The museum had a whole bunch of books from local authors, and of course when they closed, they didn't want to do the books. So I said, well, bring those books back out here. We'll sell them and give the museum back some money that they've invested in those books. So any kind of history, folklore, ghost stories, Tennessee history, it's all right. We've got plenty of those kind of books. It's really kind of neat.
Okay. Do either one of y'all have any questions?
I'm good.
No, and no questions from the audience.
Oh, we've done pretty good. I
So
think.
you must have answered every question anybody could have had.
Now, let me tell you about the girl that's got the UT.
Oh, yeah, you were gonna talk,
License.
yes.
She is brand new to this art. She's probably been painting maybe 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure that that's right, but somewhere in that area. She is so talented. She can take a picture of a couple or a dog or a flower and paint that. And I mean, it is so realistic, it's unbelievable. And she started doing these hound dogs, like the Tennessee hound dog. And if I'm telling the story right, she got a call that there might be a copyright infringement on her doing these dogs. So it scared her, which it would anybody. And she got in touch with UT and showed them her work. UT has licensed her to now paint these dogs and put the UT sticker on there, the Tennessee sticker. It's really a neat story.
Oh, that's cool.
It is, and she has cards like that and the hound dog. It's pretty unique, really.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a stickler for copyright, so I'm glad to
Yeah,
hear that
yeah.
there's.
Yeah, she's done it the right way.
Yeah,
And We have a lady that does handmade jewelry. There's stones and no plastic in her jewelry. It's all natural element stones and whatever else. They're very unique, and I think they're priced pretty reasonable too.
Well, speaking of jewelry, I forgot to tell anybody who's coming next week, but it's June Gooch. She does leather earrings and other things out of leather, and her business name is Creations of Faith. And part of what the money she earns, she does donations. So we're going to have a combination art and donation, and we're talking about the women's shelter that's in town, Safe Harbor House, and that's kind of near and dear to my heart because I know somebody who stayed there, and but for the grace of God, it could have been me too. So Jim Gooch with leather earrings is going to be here next week.
Tell her to get in touch with me. I want to say I know that name, so I could have sent her something.
Creations of Faith is the name of her business.
I've seen so many.
You probably have so many that you don't even know who.
I can't remember if I've sent her anything or not, but I'd like to invite her to be a part of this.
I'll text her because she asked me a question earlier and I didn't have time to text back and send her some information.
You know, it's unbelievable the artisans in Cleveland, Tennessee that do spectacular work that people don't know anything about.
Right.
So we're excited to get to bring them in that museum.
Well, tell us again, we've got about 2 minutes. Tell us again how to get in contact with you. And I'm excited about the whole thing. And anytime that Artists Here has an event coming up or whatever, let me know. And if we need to put a guest on the show, if we have a space, we'll put y'all in. And
thank you.
I was glad we had a space 2 days before your opening because then
I understand. If you're an artisan and you'd like to be a part of the gift gallery, there's just a short process to go through, but if you'll call me, it's Dwight Richardson, 423-715-0030. Or you can email me at finnymores@att.net. Finnymores is a capital F is in, I'm sorry, it's not a capital. F is in Frank, ENIMORES, finnymores@att.net.
okay. Well, we appreciate you coming, and
Thank
we're
you.
excited about the Artists Here partnership, and we will see you guys next week, same time, same station.
Grand opening.
And the YouTube will be up in about a week, because Gabe is doing some marvelous things with the YouTube, and he's trying to get his procedure together. Is that how we do it, Gabe?
Yeah.
Procedure together so that he knows how to, when to put it. He didn't want to put chatty stuff on YouTube. So
Sure.
Good. We'll see it on YouTube in about a week. And talk to you soon. Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Being back there, Radio Vixen.
I was about to say, who is this Vanessa y'all keep talking about?
She wants to be called Radio Vixen. So we'll.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.